All right, good evening, everybody. It is Steve with Real Progressives. Tonight, I couldn't help it. I was talking to some people today about not only a UBI, but some other factors like a job guarantee and just overall what it meant to be a progressive. It wasn't going into some deep MMT diatribe. It was just simply chit-chatting about things. And ultimately, even in that chatter, the answer to me was, hey, that's being divisive. You need to focus on, bringing the party together, and we can worry about policy later. Stop talking policy. Literally, I couldn't believe it. I was blown away. Someone told me to stop talking about policy. Folks, for the record, we're not Democrats. We might, some of us be, and some of us might not be. We're progressives, right? And many of us just don't have a home to call our own because, God, third party's not really doing a whole lot for us. And at the same time, the duopoly's not doing shit for us. So we're just sort of living without a home, right? But I just found it fascinating. So, he said, hey, look, just vote blue no matter who. Just vote blue no matter who. It's the easy answer to everything. And I kept thinking, who the hell does that remind me of? Who does that remind me of? And all I could come up with, and see if you guys agree with me, okay? All I could come up with was
My
this.
dad believed in only two things: that Greeks should educate non-Greeks about being Greek, and that any ailment, from psoriasis to poison ivy, could be cured with Windex.
Just vote blue.
Look at this. Rash. Somebody gave me the mati.
Put some Windex.
Oh, God, please, please.
Vula, this works. Last night,
Just
my
vote
toe
blue.
was as big as my face.
Just vote blue. It's almost as good as Windex, right? Hey, and Windex is blue too. But this is the kind of stuff that just keeps coming up. And I got to tell you, we obviously we talk a lot about policy because that's really what Real Progressives is all about. It's about giving you guys the tools you need to do more than just vote blue no matter who, or to green enter or dem enter or whatever the hell strategy somebody comes up with that doesn't include policy, that doesn't include the important things that make who you vote for, that make who you care about useful, And these people have a one-stop shop. The answer to everything is just vote blue. I realized, and I was really morbidly depressed about this at first. I really was. I mean, I was sticking to the sheets in freaking cold sweats over the idea that no matter how important these issues are, no matter what we're talking about, no matter how vital it is to understand something, the brain is turned off, the ideas are shut down, and the only answer they give is vote blue. How do we progress in this ridiculous thing? I remember, and this is going back a few years, for those of you who have followed Real Progressives for any length of time, one of the most watched videos I've ever done was the day that James Comey told Hillary that she wasn't going to be prosecuted. And I about lost my shit. I was like, my God, there is no such thing as law and order in this country. There is two sets of laws. There's the haves, the have-nots, the oligarchy, and then the rest of us. And it just blew me away. Because as I was reading through the comments of that old 3-year-old live stream, I saw throughout there people that are adamant, were adamant Bernier busters. Adamant Bernier busters. Suddenly just vote blue. Vote blue no matter who. And I was reading the comments, and there was a lot of vote blue no matter who's going through there saying, this is just divisive. Of course you got to vote for Hillary. Who else are you going to vote for? And I don't know how to penetrate through that. I still don't quite understand it. It really does seem like this is Windex. There is no way of talking to them. This is not about prevailing upon their better judgment. This is not about educating them on something they don't understand. Folks, I swear on my life, they don't care. They don't care. They don't care if Biden was a child rapist or a serial killer, or if he has, like 28 houses, out down in the Cayman Islands, or, a bazillion dollars that he embellished or embezzled, from the government. They don't care if Kamala jailed every black person in America or did all kinds of civil forfeitures. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. Just vote blue. They don't care. So how do you penetrate through the thick, dense, just vote blue? How do you make them understand the suffering, the pain and suffering that you feel for not being able to get your health care taken care of? How do you make them understand the pain and suffering you have from the loss of employment? How do you make them feel the pain and suffering of a huge $100,000 student debt noose around your neck that you took because you needed to be economically viable in this crappy, crappy country we're so proud of? How do you explain this to them when they genuinely do not care? This is no joke. For the entirety of the election cycle, we're told to stop talking divisive, stop talking policy. This is during a primary where you're supposed to hash this out. And they're saying, don't talk about it. But then, as soon as the primary's over, as soon as the election's over, what do these people do? Folks, I'm telling you right now, I know what they do, but I'm going to see if you know. Do you know? We all know. They check out. They don't listen anymore. They don't care. They don't care. And so then suddenly they're around wagging their fingers, scolding people the next election cycle. Just vote blue. Will you support the nominee? And, I genuinely weep for my children. I weep because these dodo birds, these vote blue sycophants, these drones, they don't care who lives and dies, my friends. As long as you vote blue, they're happy. They'll celebrate forever. It is the ultimate Christmas present for them. Just vote blue. I have tried so many times, face-to-face, casually, and the face-to-face is the worst. The face-to-face is the worst because you could see the whole, like, oh, God, he's talking politics. I don't want to talk politics. Please don't talk politics. And they got, like, this, like, fake smile where they're, like, twitching and everything. How in the world do you have that conversation with them? They're not interested. And then suddenly, as soon as you break away from that conversation, the second you break away from that conversation, they are ready to tell you how much they hate Bernie Sanders because he split the party. He did all these bad things. And you want to defend Bernie, and all of a sudden they want to change the subject. Now, I don't know what makes these people act this way. It doesn't seem like human being behavior. It seems like robotic behavior. It's like, I don't know. It's like listening to bad pop music. Radio-friendly music. Bad radio music that doesn't require you to think, doesn't require you to do anything. You just vote blue. Ugh. Talk about a life unworth living. Oh, God. I mean, that is what I feel every time. Literally every time. And you know what? The thing is, I might vote blue. That's the thing. But they don't want to make the party better. They don't care. Just vote blue. Just vote for the spaghetti and meatball sub. As long as it's blue. I don't care if it's mold. Just vote blue. Fucking vote for the Smurfs. Just vote blue. Vote for the blue men in Vegas. Just vote blue. Vote for Blue Oyster Cult. Vote for a bottle of Windex. Just vote blue. It is the most intellectually dishonest, most anti-human human being precision I have ever seen in my life. The Democrats can't see past each election cycle. And it's like as soon as the next election cycle comes, they shut down. And then as soon as the next one ramps up, they're busy wagging their finger once again, telling you to not be divisive. This is the most important election of all time. And if you don't vote for the Democratic candidate, the Democratic nominee, what do you want? Romney? What do you want? Dole? What do you want? Trump? What do you want? Nixon? What do you want? Eisenhower? Whatever. What do you want? Lincoln? What do you want? Thomas Jefferson? I mean, you can't make it up. You can't make it up. I don't know what else to do other than smile. I don't smile a lot because I'm usually thinking about all the death and destruction this shit creates. But I'm smiling out of just sheer and utter, I don't know what the fuck to do. What do you do? They don't care. My one suggestion, and it's just a suggestion, if you already know that no matter what, you're going to vote for the nominee, if that's who you are, if you're that person, and you aren't really into Bernie Sanders, do me a favor. Sit out the primary. Don't worry about it. Let us burners and others take care of business. It's okay. You'll vote blue no matter who in the end anyway, right? Right? Right. Some of us care about issues. Some of us care about getting rid of student debt. Some of us are tired of seeing people hanging themselves due to economic collapse. Shitty economic conditions. There was an article in NPR talking about how the elderly are turning to suicide because there's no hope, because the economy sucks and they've been cut out of it. Vote blue no matter who. The hell with that. And honestly, returning veterans. Suicide, anyone? Oh, I don't know. Maybe a couple. How about the young people who walk out the door before they get their first blowjob with $100,000 of student debt? How about them? Just spitballing. And you look over there at Chuck Schumer, who's sitting there comparing AOC to Donald Trump as he's standing in front of AIPAC. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Every step along the way, when I hear the establishment speak, I get sick in my stomach. Literally sick in my stomach. I can't just vote blue. I can't do it, no matter what. No matter how much I hear the words. In fact, I think every time someone says, will you support the nominee, I get sick in my stomach and I get more rigid in my opposition. Every stinking time these dullards try and get you to fall in line, I feel ill. Why is that? Because I ain't a drone. I don't do joiner shit. People, those Bernie people, they're so rude and whatnot. No, we're tired of not having a legitimate conversation about the issues. We're tired of you selling us out and telling us to stop trying to do better. We're sick of it. We are fucking sick of you telling us that. Sick of it. We want things. We need things. It's not just like a laundry list of things we'd like to have. Folks, the things we'd like to have that we're asking for in the political process are things that we deserve, like free and fair elections, reliable elections with integrity, getting rid of superdelegates, or getting rid of the party protections, and getting rid of the parties in general if they can't make them free and fair and accountable. That right there is not just a nice to have. That's not divisive. We want fucking fair elections. We want integrity in our elections. You know, and there's this little thing called climate change. Crazy as it might be. Some of us prefer our houses not burned down in wildfires in California or submerged in the southern tip of Florida as the ocean takes over. Some of us would like to be able to take care of that pesky cancer, affliction we have, without worrying about bankrupting our family after we pass into the ether. Some of us, I don't know, being selfish probably and whatnot, right? Would like to see Social Security expanded. And others have this crazy notion of fighting for a job guarantee to prevent the collapse that occurred last global financial crisis. Just spitballing a few things there. But if you don't want to talk about the issues and you just take whatever comes at you, you'll get what you get. And you'll like it, right? You'll eat your peas. Isn't that what Obama told us? Shut up and eat your peas. No, I won't. Sorry. Not gonna do it. So as distrust and anger and rage continues to bubble up, Donald Trump comes out with this thing. He says, hey, you know what? Looks like being able to count on the angry white worker vote and pit them against all the immigrants and pit them against all the other ne'er-do-goods and all this and all that. Hey, you know what? That's a pretty big voting block, and if I can continue to fan the flames, I'm going to get reelected. Because you know why? He realizes that the Democrats, the neoliberal Democrats, were very, very much responsible for the malaise within the white, poor community, the worker class that Donald Trump is targeting. Neoliberal politics has hurt African Americans majorly. Hurt them with housing, hurt them with school, hurt them with everything. Hurt them in their own communities. But it hurt all of us, right? But Donald Trump knows the Democrats are just going to vote blue. And he's pretty sure that he can wrangle in some disenfranchised white people that are suffering from neoliberal politics. And he's counting on it. Counting on it. And these vote blue sycophants are going to usher in the second phase of Donald Trump. Now, the first phase hasn't been good. Trying to cut food stamps, trying to do all manner of just crap. They've been so focused on impeachment that they haven't focused on what they would do to govern. And, of course, their legion of loyal sycophant followers is all rabid about impeachment. Now, impeachment may turn some people on, but it doesn't get me health care. It most definitely doesn't get us green energy. And more importantly, it blows what political capital there is to save us from cataclysmic climate change. These people are acting like we got time. And you know what? Donald Trump, in his second act, will have nothing to run for after that if he gets elected. He will have a lot of old Scottices waiting to happen. A lot of appointments ready to play down. Can you imagine Donald Trump being able to celebrate being a two-term president because neoliberal vote blue sycophant Democrats refuse to fight about the actual issues so they could get momentum and populism and win? Can you imagine that? Well, that's what's about to happen. These horrific people are shitting on Bernie Sanders left, right, and center. You got some just complete airhead on MSNBC talking about how Bernie makes your skin crawl. Talk about a sick bitch. Talk about an awful human being. You're existence makes my skin crawl. How's that? But these are the people. This is what they do. And I can assure you, from the bottom of my heart, they don't care about the issues at all. They're waiting for brunch and lattes. They're waiting for brunch and lattes. They just want their blue in there. They don't care who. And Donald Trump, he's counting on that tactic. It's like the prevent defense in football. The only thing it prevents you from doing is winning. And Donald Trump knows it. Give the sick man credit. Give the sicko credit. He is creating a white nationalist society because Democrats can't get their head out of their ass and fight about the issues, so they get a real meaningful platform that everyone can fight for the 99%. Bernie has it in spades. Bernie can pay for it too. The rest of them, not so much. Yes, that includes all your favorites. I can tell you right now, without an energized, knowledgeable group ready to fight Donald Trump, you're looking at a second term, period. And there's no getting around it. Vote blue no matter who, you're creating that monster. Look in the mirror. Ask yourself if you've ever said vote blue no matter who, and then realize you're the reason Donald Trump exists. Because you refuse to do the right thing. And that is fight about the fucking issues so that we can come to the correct stance. So that we can fight for the right things, not just vote blue no matter who. I'm Steve Grumbine with Real Progressives, telling you to put the Windex away and focus on the issues. Don't let these drones steal your voice. Have a good night, everybody. I'm out.